So hey gang, it's darn near midnight when I'm recording this, and it's 2 days before I start moving to my new place. And I thought, even though it's chaos because I'm trying to pack things up and everything, I thought let's take one last look at Dogtown Farms here. I have had this farm display in various configurations for well over a decade, and so it's kind of bittersweet to be moving and for it to be uh, kind of getting torn down. And so it's it's kind of cool to see how you progress and grow and all that. And someday I'll go through some old pictures and I'll make a video of my old display. Like, so if I come over here, I don't know. I mean, if some of you guys have been around the internet, Toy Tractor Times or whatever, for even the Yahoo groups, might remember. So my original display had a John Deere dealership here, and actually the dealership sat here, and I had kind of had a highway running back through here, and then it curved around here, and then so there was some equipment in the front, and then there was a lot for equipment over here. And then back there was a really big pond that I had made. And that was kind of my first ever attempt at that sort of thing. And I used screen wire and plaster to do it, and then of course painted it and used grass. At that time, I didn't know what static grass was. I don't even know if static grass was a thing. I mean, we're talking a long time ago. But what's interesting, from that display, there's still a few elements around. So this road here actually follows an original railroad track, because I was going to do an HO scale railroad with my model farm. Now, obviously, 164 scale and HO don't line up necessarily, but anyway, that's what I was going to do. And then at some point, when I kind of realized I didn't necessarily want to do the model railroad as well, just because I didn't like the scale differential, that all got tore out, and I started over from scratch. And then you can see some things from that. Now, originally, none of that where the bins was there. That was just that there was no board there. There was nothing there. But the the tree house there and all those trees and all that foliage along the edge there, that's all original. That was there from the second display, I guess. And that one really never had a name. That second display, well, let's just keep, before I get too far into that, I was super proud of this area, by the way. So this was my first attempt at a stream, and then I made culverts and some rock, grouping and all that. I used popsicle sticks for like the boards that you see along the side of culverts, and all of this rock was basically from my driveway, and glued it together and all that stuff. So I had like high tension power poles or high voltage power poles in here, things like that. And then over here, where this nightmare is right now, this was all a big grain bin set up. So it was those grain bins, and then it had a big grain bin tower on it or whatever, grain leg, I guess is what I want to say. And then there was some Ertl sheds and things like that. Nothing custom or fancy, that's for sure. So, and then of course this road that's been there since the second iteration of this, and actually from, I'll say, here on over, was actually there on the first iteration. So anyway, so that was that. And then the third iteration was where probably a lot of you have started to see pictures. It was kind of the social media era, maybe 5-6 years ago, where I had kind of like some sheds in this area where I was taking a lot of pictures, shooting into the shop or shooting into this shed here, things like that. So anyway, that's so that's kind of, and then eventually, I mean, there were some other changes, and we ended up here somehow. That's the way it goes, I guess. And so I feel like with this display, Dogtown Farms, the Frog Pond, if you will, that the Frog Pond was kind of this field. It's a kind of that story there. Dogtown is sort of the farm, and but I felt like I was getting quite a bit better with my landscaping, but still not perfect. There's a lot of messiness there, and things of that nature. I mean, I did some decent stuff here. The static grass really helped, all that sort of thing. So, with that said, I hope the next one is even better. And so that's the good news here. There's going to be a next one. For those of you that follow on Instagram, you've seen a couple mock-ups of it. It turns out as we got into the new house, the new space, I still have plenty of room, but I'm going to have to go from 4 foot wide to 3 foot wide instead, which is it's gonna make me change everything a little bit. I don't like that necessarily. I'd really hope to stick to the 4 foot wide, but that's the way it goes sometimes. The important thing is I get to have a display, and I'm going to have kind of a nice area just for the display and for my workshop, and then I'll have a completely separate room where I'll have all of my shelves for my collection and that sort of thing over there. So that's that. So anyway, I'm starting to try to get things out, to get things built up packed up and boxed up, and I've got boxes everywhere, I've got packing material everywhere. So all this stuff can come to the new place this weekend, I hope, or Labor Day weekend, or at least get a start on it. I've got some shelves and things to build there, but that's going to go pretty quick, I think. So hopefully can unpack some stuff and make it feel more like home by having some tractors and things there with me. So all this stuff here, I was trying to sell some stuff in the last few weeks, and I've had no luck selling anything at all recently. So whatever. That's the way it goes. And I've talked to other guys that are dealers and things of that nature, and they say it's super slow sales right now. So I don't know. That's the way it goes. I kind of I've debated on selling this shed. I don't know where I'm going to use it in the future. And then that one way over there by the grain bin, I've kind of contemplated selling that too. So I don't know. If anybody's interested in a shed, want to pony up some money, before I get moved, let me know. We can work out something. But once I get it moved, I don't know that I'll ever get it unpacked or get it unpacked in a timely manner. So, yeah, time is limited. All right. Anyway, so that's that. I'm proud of what I did here. Like I said, ignore the junkiness. Things are coming off the shelves and getting packed, but I did some nice detail on this shed. You can see the grass where, in between where the tractors go. Nice static grass detail over here. I'm going to look back at pictures and videos of this display fondly because it was a step in a good direction for me as far as detail goes. So, and I feel like I'm going to go up from there. I've got some things I definitely want to try in the next display. I want to go just really great with the scenery detail. I want there to be more scenery. It's going to be less flat. So, we'll see. All right, guys. Man, I sure appreciate you guys watching so far this chapter of my life. And as I start this next chapter of my life, I'm just super excited about what's going to happen. I can't wait to do a bunch of how-to videos on building a display and more custom videos and just all sorts of cool stuff. It's going to be exciting. This page may slow down here for a few weeks while I get moved and settled, but I promise it won't take long. And then we're going to be into harvest, so we'll be doing some harvest videos. That's one thing you guys said. You want to see me do more harvest videos and regular updates on the farm and stuff like that. So I will be more than happy to do that stuff for you guys. Part of my problem is remembering to do it. I know that's terrible, but that's the way it is. So anyway, guys, again, just huge thanks. We're approaching, I believe we're approaching 3,500 subscribers here. And it would be so cool if we could get to 4,000 before the year's over, but I feel like that's a long shot. I don't know. But anyway, so if you guys could do that like, share, subscribe thing, coming up on 10 minutes here, so sorry for wasting so much of your time. But anyway, it's been awesome. This first part, this first chapter in YouTube and my farm toy life, and the second chapter is about to begin. I'm pretty excited for it, and I hope you guys will come with me on that journey and just see where we end up. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great night. Happy tractor hunting.